Hi, this is Chris from Crochet Recreations and Chris by Chris Loves Crochet, and I am live. I can't believe it. I just came back from the most, not the most, but a very strange situation. My mom was going to not introduce me to this guy, but I knew this guy. She just didn't know that I thought he was kind of cute and didn't know what was going to happen. And so she invited me to brunch because he was going to be there. And the last minute, he brought one of his girlfriends. Yes, one of many girlfriends. So that was a little awkward. But luckily, I had a pretty good date on Friday with somebody else. So I guess I can't be that upset that he had somebody else on his arm. So I don't know how this works. I am going to see if I can find how to put this on my computer. I don't think I can because I'm not my own. I don't know how to do it. So I can see if you have anything to say before it comes on my little phone, because then I won't be able to see it. So now I have this should be on mute. Let's see. There we go. Press the Alt key to press chat, then point to chat. I don't know what that means. Hello, Deborah. Thanks for stopping in. I don't know. Let's see. I just had brunch. It was a wonderful brunch, even though it was a little strange having some guy there that I kind of like, but one of his girlfriends was there. So I've been really busy. Hello, Nicole from Georgia. I've been really busy at work. I'm a teacher. I live in Dallas, and I'm a teacher. I teach high school psychology. And so I've been really busy at work, but I'm not really happy about my work right now. And so I've been crocheting a whole lot. Woodrow gang. Hey, Jack. What's up? I've been crocheting a whole lot just to stay calm. I did start crocheting about 5 or 6 years ago because of some depression and some anxiety and all that kind of stuff. And crochet was something that was so wonderful and so calming to me. It was my meditation. And so I still do it. And so I can always tell when things aren't going so great in my life, because I end up with lots of crochet all around me that I've been doing. And that's what's going on right now. Hello, Proverbs, here for the first time. I've seen you up on The Secret Yarnery. Yeah, that's a great live show. She's on every Friday morning. I try to make it into school early so I can turn it on before the students come into my class. So right now, thank you. I made that. And this is ice yarn because, I'm a fan of Secret Yarnery. So this is ice yarn. I think it's a rock star, but this is then the lambkin. Lambkin is so soft to wear around. It's so wonderful. So right now I'm working on a spring poncho with lots of colors, poncho with many colors. And so I have a couple of strips that I'm doing to crochet them together. And I had all of these colors that were left over from a project that I was going to do that never did quite do. So now I'm using all the colors. And so I started with all of these puff stitches. Are they puff stitches? Yeah, they're 5 double crochet together to make the bobble stitches. And you're doing a spring shawl too? Yes. I mean, you can still use a winter shawl now, but then you feel all hurried to get it done, right? So I started with all of these bobbles, and then I got down to what is going to be on the front with this, and now I'm doing trebles because I get tired doing the same thing. So now I'm still changing colors, but I'm doing trebles to fill that out. Thank you. And the other side pattern is just doubles with a crisscross and more doubles. So I think this is the right side. I don't know. But this is the other one. With the Ice Yarn website, I just, from watching Krista on the Secret Yarnery, I see what she has done and what she's opening up. And if I like the yarn, I write down the name of it. And when I go out onto the website, then I search up that name for that yarn. Otherwise, I have a really hard time finding what I need or what I want, because there's so much there. So I just kind of wait until she shows me something that I really like, and then I go out and I find it based on that. So yes, this is something that I just made with all of my Christmas stuff that I made for other people, but I kept this for myself and my little gloves to keep me warm. And this is a spider web pattern that I used to make a Mobius, and made the really big Mobius so that I could have it all the way around my shoulders. Keep me warm. I like it. And I just finished a tutorial on this purse, which is just a half circle and then a whole circle. And with this circle, I did the little pinwheels, so I had a front post double crochet around, but I have that out there. Just finished it. Hot off the press. Yeah, I like Mobius. I think everybody at Christmas got a Mobius cowl from me. And then my daughter, who just had a baby, so I'm a new grandma and I'm so excited. I think she had her in September. I know she had her in September. And so I'm going to really try my hardest to get up there. She's in Indiana, to get up there for spring break for a few days, because now she's old enough. When I got there, when I first met the baby girl, she was just born. I was there for the birth, and she just didn't. She kind of opened her eyes, but little tiny infant newborns, they don't quite know who you are. And so I want to go now that she's got her eyes open and she's interacting with people and getting excited, and I want her to know her Grandma Kissy. So I'm gonna go up there for spring break. I think you can hear my neighbor dogs. My little Chihuahua goes out and tries to show those big Weimaraners. Hello from Alabama. Hey, Christy. My little Chihuahua likes to go out and tell those big Weimaraners who's the boss. And if there wasn't a big fence between them, I think that my little Chihuahua mix would understand who the boss is. So it's my daughter's birthday. She wanted one of these. You can't even see the whole thing. There's the whole thing. And she wanted one of these. It's a new, and they've been going around for a while, the Katniss shawls. And this is supposed to go around your body and then up and around your neck. I followed the instructions. Used the yarn for the instructions. But this is so wide that when you're trying to make a twist for it, to have it go over your head and have the rest go around your body, it just gets so bulked up that I've been stretching, steaming and stretching. It's acrylic, so I need steam. I did get it wet. I did soak it in some nice smelling stuff and stretched it. And then I've been steaming it to have the acrylic kind of let go a little bit, to try to get it long enough and well, it is long enough. It's just not quite thin enough and movable enough to get things done. So I'm going to be sending that to her pretty soon. She already asked for it, so it's okay. She sees this. She sent me a pattern. That's what's great. When somebody wants you to do something for you, which they always are, right? How many of you have people come up to you? Thank you. I will let her know happy birthday. How many people come up to you and say, oh, that's so cool. You make me one? Yes, for money. I'll do it for money. And then, or if they're just saying, hey, I have something like this. Can you just crochet it for me? Well, first of all, that's knit. And so I'd have to create something brand new. And then, but my daughter, she's learned. If she wants something, she sends it to me, a picture. How cute. Oh, I love this. And attached to it, is a pattern. I love it. A crochet pattern, not a knit pattern, a crochet pattern. And so that's how she has learned how to, I love loopy crochet and treasures. Hello. Hi. That's how she has learned to get crochet items out of me. And also for her baby. She'll send me things with a pattern. And her friends still send me things and say, hey, you should make this for me or for Whitney or for your granddaughter. And say, well, you can figure it out. I might be able to figure it out. It might not come out so well. You know, I try my best. Thank you very much. This is my big Mobius little warming shawl that stays closed without needing any kind of hook or anything. So I really like that. So I've been crocheting for about, I want to say 5 or 6 years, but it might be 7. And I learned completely on YouTube. And I'll tell you who I first started. Pattern for this? No, I don't have a pattern for this. I got into my crochet book, found the pattern, the web pattern that I liked, and then just made it into a Mobius. Made a straight rectangle as long as I wanted it to be. I would put it on before I seamed it. Then I put a twist in it, I seamed it, and then I just put a border on it from lambkin. That's all I did. There's no pattern for it. Your daughter does the same thing, Deborah. Gave me some yarn for Christmas with a pattern, then said, I love this. Would you love to have one? Would love to have one. Yeah, it does look like the spider stitch, but it's in there as a web stitch. So it's a web and not a spider. I don't know. It's just in that book it's called that. Maybe it's the same exact thing and it's called a spider stitch someplace else. I don't know. So I learned crochet basically from, well, I learned when I was a kid, I think like everybody does, from their grandma, or what I learned from, we had older babysitters. When I was young, it was the older ladies that my mother would find and would come over and babysit. And so there was a Mrs. Christmas, or was she Mrs. Mary? I think she was Mrs. Christmas. Yeah. And she had met on vacation. She and her husband had met a Mr. and Mrs. Mary. As a kid, I thought that was the funniest thing. I don't know if she was lying to me. I have no idea. I was a little kid. It's a great story. So I choose to believe it. But Mrs. Christmas, I think, she taught me how to crochet, do a chain and do a single crochet. And then I hadn't done it in years. And then I started looking online and I started doing some, I think it is the same thing. Started doing some arm knitting. I'm not a knitter, but at that point I wasn't really a crocheter either. But I started doing some arm knitting, and that was fun just to get, I was really in a funk, you know, and I was trying to do something that I would have something to show for it, feel like I was succeeding in something, you know. So so I was doing the arm knitting, and then I kept watching YouTube, and I found Crystal on Bag a Day. And more. Now it's and more. At that time, it was just Bag a Day Crochet. Now it's Bag a Day Crochet and More, or Bag a Day and More Crochet. I don't know. But so I made a purse, and then I made another purse, and then I made another purse, and learned a lot of stitches from her. She is really good at for beginners to watch. Even some of the things that are a little bit more complicated, she is very patient and goes through her projects slow enough and with a lot of intent. And so when you follow her and you're doing a pattern with her, and then you pause and you get up to where she is, you come out with something that is that you really like, that's really done very well. So her tutorials are wonderful. So yes, I love Crystal. She's a very good teacher. She is such a good teacher. Crystal is. And she doesn't do ice yarns though. She's so funny. But she does Mary Maxim and Hobie, and she has some yarn openings that she does on live. She just opens up her yarn and shows us what she gets, which I think is fun. And maybe I'll do one of these times when I get a big shipment in of ice yarns, and maybe that'll help some of you who don't understand how to get it. Although it's not like I'm promoting ice yarns. I certainly go to my Joann's and get what I want so that I can see it and feel it and know right away if that's what I want. And then I order other things online. In addition to what I bought at Joann's, if I need some more, then I'll go online and I'll find it and order it. But ice yarns, it really is so cheap. So when you're looking to buy bulk and looking to get some yarn for like a blanket or something, you love yarn hauls. I do love yarn hauls to watch, but then I'm kind of scared of watching them because then I want to go and binge on some yarn. I do love yarn hauls though, but when I want to get a lot of yarn for a couple of different projects, then I do go on ice yarn because the amount that you get, because it's in bulk, you get 2 cakes or 4 balls, 4 skeins, or 8 balls in a bag, and you don't have any choice. You can't get just 1 or 2. And you too. Oh, for a yarn haul, yes. And so that you can get, so for a lot of different projects, for larger projects, you can get some things from ice yarn that, yes, you're paying for the shipping. Yes, you are. But if you look at how much it is per bag or per skein or per ball or per cake or whatever it is, they have so much, then it is so much cheaper to actually buy that way. I sound like a commercial. I am so sorry. I'm not trying to be a ice yarn commercial at all. I do love going into Joann's and to Michael's and to get my hands on things. And then you can like pull different yarns together and look at them and see. So I don't know, how do you guys do your yarn shopping? Do you do it in bulk, or do you do like just little bits at a time for one project at a time? Hi, Handmade Designs. Oh, you finally did buy from Ice? That's good. First time coming to your live. This is the first time I've done a live. So you're right. You're right on time. So, when's the last time you guys had a nice big yarn haul of your own and really you just get yours a little at a time, Christy? That takes so much discipline, I think. Get a little bit at a time. Sometimes I'll do that if I have a little project that I'm trying to do and not really financially in a place to get a bunch, then I'll just go get what I need for that one that's going to make me really happy, because that's why I crochet, is to be happy. So if I'm not making something that's making me happy, I put it aside. You've never had a yarn haul, Claire, like you see here on YouTube? I know. I don't think I've ever had any that big, especially not that Crystal and Krista show. They make a yarn haul when they do a yarn haul. It's amazing. Amazing. Oh, you did get $200 worth of yarn at Christmas time. There's a Christmas gift. I hope it was yarn that you wanted. Sometimes I want to get yarn from people, but then sometimes, oh, you were reprimanded and cut off. Oh, can't crochet fast enough, and then you end up with too much yarn and somebody thinks you're not really using it. Is that what happens, Kathy? I will buy, usually if I go buy a little bit, I'll buy a little bit plus a little bit more to add to my landscape. You picked it out yourself. That's fantastic, because when other people pick yarn for me, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to get. Sometimes my mom used to try to help, because she shops for me for clothes and stuff all the time. And she tried for a little bit. And then I'm like, Mom, this really isn't the kind of yarn that I like to use. So sometimes I'll get some extra yarn so I can work on my yarnscape, so that sometimes when I don't know what I want to do, I don't have a pattern first, I'll go in and I will look at what yarns I have. And it may be that I'll just be able to get started on it and have to order some more yarn to finish the project, or it'll be just a little project in a pretty little yarn that I thought was so pretty I couldn't leave it behind. And notice your gloves that match your shrug. Yes, my gloves match my shrug. So I'll make a little project or something that'll make me happy. A little something, just a little cowl, or a little headband with a flower on it or something to make me happy. And then get back to some of my whips. I have a lot of whips. I have a lot of UFOs, and I need to get my courage up and go in and look at them. So I don't know how many whips is too many whips. How many do I have right now? Well, I have the one that I showed you, the spring poncho. That's what I'm really working on right now, because I'm doing a tutorial for it as well. I'm doing another tutorial that's taking a long time. It's a circle poncho that comes front, and it kind of, there's little holes. You crochet little slits in it so that you can pull the corners in and make a little tie so it'll stay all nice and closed. I have a thing for closed scarves or shawls. I don't really like to make shawls that are just going to go and fly away. I do use a lot of pins for those, so I do that. But so I have those 2, 3 whips, 4 whips. I'm looking at another one that's beautiful. I had ordered some hand-painted, hand-dyed yarn from somebody, and was waiting for a really long time. It was Kilcarry. I don't know what the name of the bird is. Totally me holding back. Oh. Your boyfriend encourages you to crochet or to shop. There goes my dog again. But I ordered some, or to shop. He encourages you and you hold back. Well, Claire, maybe, I don't know. You got to do what makes you happy. And if having a little bit at a time makes you happy, then that's what makes you happy. Right? Try not to have more than 2 at a time. Whips. Yeah, I try. I get bored so easily. And then I find a pretty yarn that I want to do something else with. And then I go back and forth. And so 2 is my premium. That's where I really want to be. That's the sweet spot, to have 2 that you just go back and forth with. Or you have one big one and you keep bringing in little small ones. So you have the big one going, and then you'll have a small whip. And then you finish that, you get work on the big one, and then you have another little small whip. So that's kind of fun to do. But right now, I ordered some hand painted, hand dyed yarn, and it took forever. And it was this beautiful winged shawl that I'm doing right now. But the pattern that I really liked was in knit, and so I found a crochet one it's their wings, so that you can put it down and put it over your arms. It's beautiful. And I found the yarn, it was perfect, and it was hand dyed, and I was spending like $40 on this large 800 yard skein. So I mean, that's a lot of money for me for yarn, and it took forever. And then she sent the person who made it, I don't know who it is, she never had it in stock, or not quick enough, she thought. And so she sent another skein of more expensive yarn. It was $60 yarn, and didn't charge me anything more, so that I could have my yarn. So let me see if I can, excuse me, pardon me. Oh no, it just fell. It just fell. I'll be right back. Hold on, Krista. Okay. So this is what's left of the yarn, but these are all the colors that came with it. Isn't that great? Isn't that beautiful? So this yarn is, oh, and I lost her sticker. From the Blue Brick Dye Works, maybe? Or is it called, I think the yarn is Woolly Mammoth. But it comes from the Blue Brick Dye Works, I think. And it's called Killarney sock. So there's all the colors, and I'm just, oh, I'm loving it. I needed to get, because now I need to stop and work one side and then the other side to make the wings on it. You're using a mandala yarn also. Yes, this is a mandala kind of color, but it's not from mandala. So what I needed to do, I got some bonus points from my Darn Good Yarn subscription, and had this one, ordered this one. It's not quite the same purple, but it's pretty close. So I might need to use this so that I can have enough of each color on each side to make the wings once I finish this in the round. And then I have the wings coming off. So that's going to be fun. But that's one of my long-term projects as well. That's a long-term project. Lots of little stitches. So, but that's fun too. King size cactus garden blanket is made with a number 3 yarn and Karen Simply Soft Black. It's going to take me forever. Yes, with a number 3. I started that poncho, and I'm using number 3 yarn, DK weight. And it's taking forever. Cactus garden blanket. Yeah, I bet that is beautiful. Using the mandala for a king size bed. Mandala is a DK. It's 3. For a king size bed? Oh, Christy, you are very brave. You are brave. Oh my goodness. That'll be great though. That'll be fantastic. Are you doing it straight, or are you doing it with squares? With some granny squares or other squares? Can't get mandala here. Closest that's been brought in is the Ferris wheel and Karen cakes. Yeah, the Ferris wheels are pretty good. So I forgot to plug in my phone when I started this. So I just got to notice that my battery's low. I guess this uses up a lot of battery. So it was really fun having my first live, and for you guys to come in, I really appreciate it. I didn't have to sit here and talk to myself. And I was so worried about that. So thank you so much. And we always have a choice, so please choose happy. Thanks. Bye, guys.